So you can see. Right. Okay. Okay. You can see. So in the same way, if I want to know the sum of the columns, so where I start at I is equal to 0, I less than 1, I less than 5, the loop is same. But what values will change? The value of the j will change. So you can see here what I will be writing here. So here you can write here. You can see. So what the value will change? How the value will change? A of 0 to 4, and second value is 0. Again, what is the so this part, that is a of 0 to 4 comma 0, will give the sum of the column 0, sum of the elements of the column 0. If I want the sum of the values in column 1, so what I have to write? A of 0 to 4 comma 1. So the sum of 0 1 0 1 0 2 no 0 1 1 1 2 1 3 1 4 1 will give the sum of the elements in the column 1. So in the same way up to 2 3 4. So a of 0 to 4 comma 2. Next a of 0 to 4 comma 3. Next a of 0 to 4 comma 4. So 5 sums we will be getting, and each will reflect the sum of each column. First one is column 0, next one is column 1, sum of all the elements in column 1, next one is sum of all the elements in column 2, something like that. Okay, so you can see. One minute. I'll be erasing the part which I have written. So up to now, up to this I think you have understood. This is also one good example which you have to what we call you have to practice to understand the indices of multi-dimensional array. The main part what you have to understand in multi-dimensional array is the index part, that is a of ij, how the value of I will change, how the value of j will change, that you have to understand mainly. Okay. Example you will be seeing. So now we will, up to now we have seen single dimensional array, that is only one index will be there for the array, that is a of 0 or a of some 3, a of 4, something like that. Next we have seen two dimensional arrays, a of 2 comma 3, a of 3 comma 4, something like that you have seen. Now I will be discussing the next step, that is three-dimensional array. So how the values will be changing and how the indices will be changing. So here you can see, for example, int 3 comma 4 comma 3. So three indices will be there for a three-dimensional array. In the same way, int a comma 4 comma 10 comma 20. So three indices are there. So how many elements I will be inserting in this array? 4 into 10 into 20. So how many elements I can store in this array? 4 into 10 into 20, 800. The same way previously we have seen the two-dimensional array, for example, int a comma 10 comma 20. So I will be starting the indices at 0 and I will end at 9. And the second part I will be starting at 0 and ending with 19. But the count is same. 20 is the count, but the index starts with 0. So what is the total count of elements I will be storing here? 10 into 20 is equal to 200. Now, to understand this in a more elaborated way, I will be sharing the another example here. You can see here int 2 comma 3 comma 4. So how many elements I will be getting? 24 elements I will be getting. So for index a of 0, what are the combinations I will be getting? First one is in a of 0. 1 minute. Next, in a of 0, you can see here a of 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. And again, the value of second index will change. That is, it is incremented to 1. Again, 1 of 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. Again, the index of the second element is increased to 2. A of 2 comma 0, 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3. In the same way, now the whole combinations of elements are over for a of 0. That is, first index a of 2 means what? I can have two possibilities, a of 0 and a of 1. When a of 0 is there, what are the possibilities of all the other indices? You can see here that we discussed here. Now the second part, a of 1. So what will be the things? A of 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. These, what I am showing by using the mouse are nothing but the indices second index and third index. First index is this one, a of 0 or a of 1. In a of 1, if the first index is a of 1, then what are the combinations of second and third indices will be there? You can see in the screen where the mouse is scrolled. So you can see here, you have 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 3, 3 0, 2, 0, 1 minute, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. So this is the best example you can understand. So in the same way, what I can, how I can store, how can I store or initialize the three-dimensional array? This was written roughly to understand how the indices will be changing. First index will be changed, second index will be changed, and third index will be changed. So you can see here initialization int a comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. So how I will be writing here? You can see here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So what, where will the 1 2 3 4 values will be stored? A of 0 0 0 1 0 2 0 3. Where 5 6 7 8 values will be stored? A of 1 0 1 1 1 2 1 3. A of where 9 10 11 12 values will be stored? A of 2 comma 0 2 comma 1 2 comma 2 2 comma 3. Where 13 14 15 16 values will be stored? Here in when index is a of 1 and the second index and third indexes are like this, a of 0 0 0 1 0 2 0 3. 17 18 19 20, where they will be stored in a of 1 0 1 1, a of 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 2 1 1 3. I'm adding the first index also so that you can understand. Now where 21 22 23 24 elements will be stored? A of 1 2 0 1 2 1 1 2 2 1 2 3. In this part of the array, those elements will be stored. Okay. So I think you have understood this one. You have to practice this initialization also so that you can have a clarity. So all these things you can see here. So in a brief explanation, I am showing the initialization of one-dimensional and two-dimensional, three-dimensional arrays. So you can see here int a of 5. I can initialize as 1 2 3 4 5. So I will be printing the values from a of 0 to 4. In the same way, 2D two-dimensional array elements, a of 2 comma 3. If I initialize something like a 1 2 3 and 4 5 6, what is the where the one value will be stored? In a of 0 0. Where 2 will be stored? In a of 0 comma 1. Where 3 will be stored? A of 0 comma 2. And so I will be writing here so that you can understand. 1 minute. So A of 0, comma 0. What is the value? 1. A of 1, 0, comma 1. What will be the value? 2. A of 0, comma 2. What will the value? 3. 3 will be stored. So in the same way, A of 1, comma 0 is equal to 4. In this way, they will be stored. A of 1, comma 1 is equal to 5. A of 1, comma 2. In this part, the 6 value will be stored in the previous example. That is this 2-dimensional array. These are the values, they will be stored if I write like this. So you can see here. Now in the 3-dimensional array. So how they will be stored? You can see here. In the example, in int of 2, comma 2, comma 3. The values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I can write like this. Can I write like this? I will be writing. See here, I will be writing like this. A of 0, comma 0, comma 0 is equal to 1. A of 0, comma 0, comma 1. What will be the value? 2, like this. Again, what we call A of 0, comma 0, comma 2. What will be the value? Here 2. So 1, 2, 3 values will where will be the stored? A of 0, 0, 0. In that one will be stored, and in A of 0, 0, 1, 2 will be stored. In A of 0, 0, 2, 2 will be 3 will be stored. In the same way, I will be incrementing the 1 minute. In next part is A of 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. In these 3 parts, what will be stored? 4, 5, 6 will be stored. Next part is A of 1, 0, 0. That is, see here. I will just write in here so that you can understand. A of 1, 0. So 1, 0, 0. What will be stored here? 7 will be stored. 1, 0, 1. What will be stored here? 8 will be stored. 1, 0, 2. What will be stored here? 9 will be stored. Okay. So in the same way, A of 1, 0. What will be, A of 1, 1, 0? What element will be stored? 10 will be stored. A of 1, 1, 1. What will be value stored? 11. A of 1, 1, 2. Which value will be stored? 12 will be stored. So this is the example. You can understand. Okay. So you can see here. So that's the example. This is the brief example of 3 initializations: 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional. So you can simply understand here. So here also you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See what the thing I have discussed is reflected here. A of 0, 0, 0, 1, A of 0, 1, A of 1, 0, A of 1, 1, 4, A of 1005 1016 110. So first what will happen, the last index will be incremented. Next, before that one, that is before that one element will be incremented. Before next, what will happen, before that one will be incremented. So in the first iteration you can see that is 0 1 0 1 they are incremented. Next, in the second iteration 1 1 are incremented. Next, third iteration 1 1 1 1 are incremented. So another part which I will be discussing today is the abstract data type. So this is also a small, what we call concept which we have to discuss in a brief manner so that you can understand the applications in the coming chapters. All these things which we have discussed in the first chapter are the basic blocks to understand the things in the second and third chapters, whether I discuss the arrays or strings or abstract data types or different types of data structures. All these are basics which you have to learn to understand the next applications of the data structure. The coming what we call chapters, we will be discussing different data structures. At the same time, I will be discussing mainly the applications of data structures of each data structure, application of stack, application of queue, something like that, application of tree, application of graph. There you have to know primarily about the data structures concepts to understand that applications. So anyway, now I will be discussing the small concept known as abstract data type. So what do you mean by abstract data type? Just do you see the definition here. Abstract data type is a type or class for objects whose behavior is defined by a set of value and a set of operations. All the set of values and the operations which were performed in that set of values will be combined into one type known as abstract data type. The definition of DDT only mentions what operations are to be performed, but not how these operations will be implemented. See, this is the main part you have to understand. First two parts were the first two lines were the main things what you have to understand. First one is abstract data type is a type of classes or objects whose behavior is defined by a set of values and a set of operations. Next one is the definition of ADT only mentions what operations are to be performed, but not how these operations will be implemented. So here only I'm abstracting. Abstracting means what? Hiding. So it does, see in the next line, it does not specify how data will be organized in memory and what algorithms will be used for implementing the operations. So here, see, very clearly it was written. Very, very clear. The third line is very, very clearly telling what happens in implementing a abstract data type. See, it does not mention how, how data will be organized in memory. See, if I want to organize a memory, some a set of elements, if I want to store some set of elements, I can store in a linked list or I can store in an array. Array we have discussed up to now. If I want to store some 10 elements into a continuous location, then I will be storing in an array. But linked list we have not discussed, but we will be discussing the coming chapters. But linked list is also another alternative for array. How I will store a bunch of values. How I will be storing a group of values. So now you can see here. See in the definition, what you have was written set of values and set of operations. In the third line, what he is telling, how the set of values will be stored, it will not be mentioned. In different ways, I will be storing in the memory. How they will be stored, they will not be told. At the same time, how the operations will be implemented, they were also not discussed. They were also not discussed or discussed how they will be implemented. So you can see here in the fourth line, it is called abstract because it gives an implementation independent view. See, you have to understand that line. Implementation independent view. The process of providing only the essentials and hiding the details is known as abstraction. So, what's the definition of abstraction? Process of providing only the essentials and hiding the details is known as abstraction. So, from this word abstraction, the abstract data type concept came. So, in the same way, I will be hiding the details of how they will be stored or how the operations will be implemented. But I will just give a view what values I will be storing, what type of values I will be storing, and what operations I will be performing on that values. So in these 4 lines which we have discussed, you have to understand is that abstract type very easily. You have to understand them. 4 points very clearly, very pinpointedly they were explained. So, yeah. For example, stack ADT. If I take stack ADT, previously we discussed 1 or 2 classes simply about the stack. In stack, what will be what are the elements that will be there? Stack, count, stack, max, stop, something like that. See, conceptually, they will be, we will see like this. In a diagram I have previously, I have not discussed any program to implement stack, but I have explained conceptually. So you can see the conceptual view here in A, part A, there is a conceptual view. But I can implement the same concept by using arrays or by using stack. So by using arrays, I will be storing the values of different elements in a continuous memory location. Whereas in linked list, there is no need to store in a continuous memory location. At the same time, the operations which are performed are also in different ways. One is if I use arrays, I will be using different operations. If I use linked list, I will be using different operations. So stack ADT means stack abstract data type means what are the values that will be there in the stack and what are the operations I have to perform on the stack. Those details will be there just in that ADT. But how that operation is implemented and how the values of top or something other element will be stored were not mentioned. So you can see, read the definition. Stack ADT, in stack ADT implementation, instead of data being stored in each node, the pointer to data is stored. The program allocates memory for the data and address is passed to the stack ADT. So if I use linked list, these are the things you can see here, physical structure, how it will be there. There will be a data part and there will be a address part. If I can implement the stack also by using arrays. If I implement by using linked list, this was the implementation. Conceptually, I can see simply like this A part, but in B part, what will be there? Implementation by using linked list. I can also implement by the same using arrays also. So you can see here, by using arrays, this is the structure. Now you can see the queue structure also. Conceptually, you can see in the part A how the queue will be implemented. That is, your data is stored in the queue. But physically, I can implement in different types. Here he implemented this stack by using an array. In the diagram, you can see that B part physical structure. So how it was implemented? By using array. See, in the array, starting from the index 0 to 11, first front is 7 and rear is 10. Anyway, while we will be discussing queues in the next part, previously we just discussed 1 or 2 classes about stacks. So there is no need to discuss this queue in this ADT concept. But I am telling how that ADP will be implemented. You can see in the screen. Conceptually, queue means what? If you go for a railway station or from something like a movie, how the queue will be there? You can see here. A queue is maintained. First person who entered the queue will be getting the ticket first, and he will be out first. So simple in one word, if I want to explain the queue, that is nothing but first in, first out. First in, first out. First which is implemented will be first will be out first. The person who came in the queue first will be out with the ticket first. So the same thing, nothing but the queue. Now I can implement the queue by using linked list or array or something other means. There are 2 or 3 types. The operations also differ for that each implementation. If I use array, one implementation will be there. If I use queue, if I use linked list, one implementation will be there. So, but the ADT is the same. So ADT means what? What are the operations I perform? What are the data types I want? What are the variables I want? All these are same. These will be mentioned in ADT. Okay. So today, up to now, we have discussed the abstract data type and what we call multi-dimensional array, strings, and previously Saag also told Saag told about the introduction of data structures. What are different types of data structures simply that we call? Again, I am sharing. So, so what are the different types of data structures? That is primitive data structures, non-primitive, and again non-primitive, linear data structures, non-linear data structures. Mainly, we will be studying these non-primitive data structures. Primitive data structures already you have studied in your C language, but you have to understand the non-primitive data structures that were built, the data structures that were built. One minute. Okay. So you can see here. So the second part. So already Sampath sir explained some basics about the different data structures that we have to study. In one word, this is the example. This is the tree which tells what we have to study in the coming chapters. Okay. Mainly arrays, strings, and abstract data types we have discussed up to now. In the next chapter, in the next class, we will be discussing the stacks. That is, in the previous class, I just explained the concept of stack. But now, in the coming class, I will be explaining the program about stack and also the what we call applications of stacks. In this application of stacks only, that string concept, abstract data type, all these concepts will be used. So we have to have an idea of these primitive data types of arrays, stacks, or queues. We have to know about strings, abstract data types. All we have to know. Unless you know, you can't understand any application of stacks or queues or any data structure, which we'll be discussing in the next class. So what I'm telling is just what we call practice the simple examples which I have told up to now. Up to now, I had told some simple examples. Anyway, what I will be doing, I will be sharing this what we call information. What I am having this PPT slides, all the information, all those things with you. So can you can the CR of this class once call me? Can anybody call me? If anybody calls me, I will be sharing them all the material which I have, so that you can practice small programs and you will get an idea of strings, abstract data types, or anything. So you have to practice mainly. Another thing you can do, or you can add in your group, that is in your triple group. If you add me, I will be sharing all the material I will be having. Okay. So there is in these days it is very easy. There is no need to install C compiler also. In online only you can practice. Just if you have an internet connection, in the online only you can write the program, execute there. There is no need to install softwares also. So if you go to Google and if you write online C compilation or online C execution, you will be getting many tools. There you can execute and practice the small programs which I discussed. Strings, arrays, these are very small programs, but you have once if you practice only, you can understand them. Okay. Anyway, so I will be leaving the class today. up to now it's over. Okay. In the next class we will be discussing stacks. If possible, the CR please call me. Okay.